You're listening to Fringianity. Today's episode is dealing with the great divide in our nation as we watch our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, and everyone choose a political divisive line to stand on as the media and propaganda brainwashes people into believing a lie and dividing us amongst each other so that chaos can ensue in the streets. And basically, everything goes, to hell. Well, the New World Order can come in and just basically take over. That pretty much kind of sums up a lot of it. But I'm going to be concentrating on this new movie, the first Purge, which is one of the Purge films. I can't believe they keep making them. But I'm going to be talking about that. And I'm going to be just showing you the words that people are using in the news against us. They're weaponizing the news and fanning the flames as our country burns down around us because of division. In every facet of society, of our society, there is division. And the Bible does say, a kingdom divided cannot stand. Well, Rome is burning. Babylon is burning. Whatever analogy you want to use, that's where we're at. We're not destroyed completely yet, but you could see the signs. The signs are all around us, and that's kind of what they want. But we also have to take note, and we also have to be aware of this. So that being said, I want to play a little scripture here of Revelation 6. The Bible says peace will be taken from the earth, so be prepared for that.
Revelation 6. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and that they should kill one another, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
The folks calling for stability might need to check their privilege.
And 25% of the country, whether it's 25, 20, 30%, are hardcore racist. They do not want to see brown people coming into America. That's just what's going on here.
If you vote for Trump, then you, the voter, you, not Donald Trump, are standing at the border like Nazis, going, you here, you here. And I think we now have to flip it, and it's a given the evilness of Donald Trump.
Are they just the most stoic human beings? Are they numb? Are they dead inside?
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides.
Anybody who votes for and supports a racist is a racist. You are culpable, white America. I'm sorry. If you hold down the woman while the rapist is raping her, and you didn't rape her, are you a rapist?
Tens of millions of people voted for him after he showed his cards for years.
But are you suggesting that they're racist or they're...
Yes.
The people who vote, all the people who voted for Donald Trump are racist.
Yes.
Those people who are supporting what he's doing here are racist, period.
They should not be non-confrontational.
And so these policies that this administration is putting forth are intentionally cruel. They are racist, and it is our job as citizens to speak out against that. Now, does that mean that we're going to be violent? No. But does that mean that Sarah Sanders can have a nice, quiet dinner with her family when she's taking our tax dollars to implement this policy? I don't think so.
They're not going to be able to go to a restaurant. They're not going to be able to stop at a gas station. They're not going to be able to shop at a department store. The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them.
But you guys were involved with Being Patriotic, right?
Very, very patriotic, but not...
Being Patriotic was the group that contacted and helped organize some of these activities that you posted on your own Facebook account.
Those were legitimate.
Those were Russians.
Thank you for calling the Red Hen Restaurant. If you are a Trump supporter, if you voted for Trump, or if you even smell like a Trump supporter, we will throw you out on your butt like we did Sarah Sanders.
President Walker, how do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Certain individuals and institutions, we will, as per Chief Jim Hopper, punch some people in the face when they seek to destroy the weak and the disenfranchised and the marginalized. And we will do it all with soul, with heart, and with joy. We thank you for this responsibility. Thank you.
This economy is going pretty well. I feel like the bottom has to fall out at some point. And by the way, I'm hoping for it because I think one way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy. So please bring on the recession. Sorry if that hurts people, but...
I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
Blame it on Trump, yeah, yeah. Blame it on the right, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's kind of funny, but I like to do a little bit of humor, every now and then because it's just, I want to throw like comedy in some of these things sometimes because it's so serious. But I don't want, I know people take offense and think that I'm not taking it, this real world stuff seriously, and I don't want people to think that I'm mocking it or something. But, sometimes you just got to laugh at the New World Order because it's getting ridiculous, and God is laughing at these high, elites as they plan and plot their evil plans. Because he knows at the end of the day, he's got them. He's going to take care of them. So, he knows the end from the beginning. So, whatever. I believe in Jesus Christ. I know he wins in the end. So, it's easy to just kind of laugh at this stuff sometimes. But that being said, I'm going to get into this first Purge movie a little bit. I didn't actually go see it. But I watched enough analysis and reviews and all this stuff on this movie, and the people that make these Purge films are far left people. They're very divisive. They want, to put the thought into your head to, what if the option was, you could kill somebody or kill people or commit crimes all in one night for 12 hours and nobody will stop you and you'll never go to jail, that type of crap. But this new one is really about an island. It's a prequel to the other ones. The other ones take place in the later future after the Purge has been happening for a while, but this is the first Purge, so it takes place on an island, and basically the president is all powerful, and he wants this really badly. He wants to push this Purge idea to start this thing, this national thing to happen every year for 12 hours, that people can just go out and murder, rape, kill, do whatever they want, and burn things down, destroy, whatever. And it's okay, because they need to get out their anger. so that they can be civil for the rest of the year. Oh, please, whatever. So anyway, but the president in this movie, they're trying to basically say is, Trump, because we need to hate Trump. We need a new reason, so we have to make up fiction to make him the enemy. But anyway, so he basically wants this, the president does in this movie, and he basically has this psychologist type character who's, making it sound okay to the people and whatever. People when in the first purge don't really want to go out and kill and do all these wild things, so the government has to put pressure on them. So of course the president sends some white people in, and I only say that because it's white people, these white military types or whatever, in regular gear, like regular street gear, to do all these, shooting, commit the crimes of the murders and stuff to start it off, to make it violent. And then, of course, it's black people who these white people are picking on, so you see the theme here. You see what's going on here. It's propaganda. It's trying to get division in this country. That's what it's doing. It's putting thoughts into people's minds to start a purge. That's what they want, Oh, hey, and it's basically a signal saying, hey, whenever the media starts this thing, or that whenever they're going to try to take Trump out of office and kill him, because they keep saying that repetitively, so it's pretty obvious that that's what's on their mind. They'll probably have a purge immediately afterward. And they'll just let everyone just start getting, it just be chaos. And that's what they want. They want chaos. And that's what it'll bring about if they killed Trump, if these super fascist liberals that are freaking on like mental illness on 10 or 11 or whatever, they're really into the idea of killing Trump. And it's written all over the place. These Hollywood stars, Johnny Depp, all these people are, all about killing Trump, killing Trump, killing Trump. It's repetitive. They say it on the news. It's a form of brainwashing. And so they use this repetitiveness of the news saying Trump's bad, so that the people that are ignorant, I mean real ignorant, see that and go, yeah, I guess Trump is bad. He's shaking hands with the Russian leader. Oh, no other presidents in American history have done that before. No other presidents in American history have met with Putin and sat down with him and talked to him privately for hours. No other presidents did that. Just Trump did that. Just Trump. There's nobody else. Obama would never do that. And besides, if Obama did it, he'd be just talking about stuff and he'd be, straightening Putin out. Oh, come on. But whatever. That's news cycle crap. So the divisiveness here is just they're trying so hard to start a civil war. They're trying so hard to get a civil war going. And they're literally trying to provoke violence to do it now. They've moved up to violence now. They've and now they're dragging the people who voted for Trump through the mud. They're basically saying that the voters of Trump are the enemy. So now they're blaming them and Trump. So you see what's going on here is they're trying to... This is Nazi Germany all over again. This has Nazi Germany written all over it. It's just repeating history, but people are too dumb to actually study it to know this. There were riots and protests before the president in Germany was taken out and the Nazis took over. Before that happened, there were riots and protests. I'm saying that because I want people to wake up. The things that are happening in America right now are exactly the things that people who lived through the Nazi Germany takeover have actually talked about that actually happened. The madness that these fascist liberals, these far left liberals, socialists, communists, whatever they are, liberals with their fists in the air and hating God, the madness that they have is the very same madness that took over the German people, that allowed Adolf Hitler and the Nazis to just murder. Because what they did is they turned the Jews into the enemy. They said that they are this, they are that. These people are this, that, and the other thing. Oh my God, we have to get rid of them. And they made it even sound like it was the right thing to do. Just like they're doing. Now you remember back in the day, I don't know, I think everyone completely forgot about this. Obama had a list of enemies, domestic terrorists or whatever, and returning vets, basically liberty lovers, anybody who loves the Constitution, freedom, Christians, were all on that list, higher than ISIS, higher than Al-Qaeda. What is the deal with that? Well, let's see. Fast forward to 2018, and look at what's going on. Those are the people on that list are the very same people now that the liberals want to go to civil war with. You see how that propaganda just echoed into the future now? And now look where we're at. That same list is the enemy. That's becoming the enemy. So it wouldn't surprise me if they started coming for. They want to take away the guns first, so they're going to do something to get the guns, and then they're going to, once they take the guns, they're coming for you. That's pretty much it. And that's a very dark and that's very sick, but that's what it is. So before I go on too far, but I wanted to play this little clip or this little teaser for the Purge, because this really ties into exactly what I'm saying. This is a commercial, and listen to how it's framed. Listen to the theme, how American and how wonderful it is, how Trump supporter. It's like it's speaking to Trump supporters, okay? In other words, Trump supporters are the enemy. Keep that in your mind as you listen to this.
What makes America great? The answer's simple, really. Americans make America great. You are the lifeblood of the nation, and your rights as Americans must be safeguarded. There is only one solution to keep our country great: a new tradition. Participate today, and nothing will make you prouder than when your boy looks up at you and says, "Dad, I want to purge too."
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Yeah, may God be with you all. It's amazing how that little commercial before the little warning thing, it pretty much sounded all American, the whole Americana, speaking to the heartland, all that stuff. And then they turned it into, the kid wants to be like daddy and purge too. Which purge means kill too. Because it's an American tradition. You see, this is messed up. It's just so messed up. But that's the kind of stuff, this is agenda-filled propaganda. And it's in Hollywood, it's in movies. I mean, they're literally telling you what they want to do. And of course, this is, like I said, this is the type of thing that happened right before the Nazis started killing. You know, first they label you and, you know, drag your name through the mud and do all these things and say how bad you are on the news and in the media and newspapers and all that stuff. And they just keep this repetitive statement that they keep repeating, and that's the brainwashing. And then enough morons start to believe it after, you know, you tell a lie big enough and long enough and people tend to believe it, you know. So then they continue with that method of thinking. I mean, this is like the Communist Manifest all over the place. But people don't know anything or even read about these things. So they're just like, you know, nothing bad's going to come of this. And then eventually, you know, they turn this into a hateful thing where you have to choose sides and all this stuff. And then here we go. Here comes the Civil War type of thing. Only in this country, most of the Americans will be so surprised when they start kicking down the door and doing all this stuff that they'll be saying, "Oh, where's the police?" You know, and the police will be, you know, I'm guessing there'll be a lot of police that are, you know, corrupt and part of it. Or the UN troops will come in, or, you know, whatever. They gotta try to cull the herd, basically. They have to try to cut down the population. And the only way there's a couple ways to do that. And one is to have chaos and have anarchy in the streets and just people mass murdered everywhere. For a time. They won't let that continue for a long time because, you know, they want global government and they want power over the people, and they can't do that when the people are, you know, just chaos all the time. So they want the chaos only as a means to an end so that they can gain their power afterward. It's just ridiculous. So the next little thing here is, this is 5 scary real world events that were like the Purge, basically, that come from these movies. I mean, this is after the movies have been out. So these movies have already done things in society, in real world, that makes people do these things. So check this out.
Is the purge a political device?
It is a psychological one. If we want to save our country, we must release all our anger in one night.
Tonight, we'll see the good and evil in everyone.
Hey guys, I'm Court McGinley, and welcome back to the most amazing Top 5. Let's jump right into our list of the top 5 scary real-life purge events. Coming in at number 5, Festival of Saturnalia. This festival was an eagerly awaited, week-long holiday that was celebrated by ancient Romans. During the pagan festivities, which took place between December 17th to the 25th, people were encouraged to get drunk and do whatever they wanted. This included sacrificing each other to the gods. Throughout this week, businesses and work would be suspended, and slaves were given the freedom to do and say what they like. This Roman festival was extremely lawless, and citizens would even sacrifice themselves in the name of the god of Saturn. The first year the festival was held, it was supposed to be pretty innocent. It was expected to be a happy time where people would just have fun. But as it went on throughout the years, it took a darker edge when people took advantage of the freedom by turning to violence. In images depicting the festival, you can see all of the drinking and the fighting that took place. But the festival turned really dark when it was decided that a few fake kings would be crowned and given the power to order people to do anything they wanted. But at the end of the festival, these rulers were sacrificed at the temple of Saturn as a show of respect for the Roman god. With punishment suspended, human sacrifices, carnage in the streets, and pure freedom, people have connected this event to the Purge. They do seem really similar, I have to admit. And at number 4, copycats. A teenager in Louisville, Kentucky decided it would be a good idea to put up a poster threatening the lives of the people in the community, claiming that the real-life Purge event was going to take place. So clearly, we know that this was just a teen pulling a prank, but oh man, the backlash on this was insane. The sign obviously went viral on social media, which made the citizens fear riots. After the sign went up, other people across America began making similar threats. Authorities had to be alerted to make sure these threats were not being carried out. At number 3, Florida. There was also another copycat threat made in Florida. Back in 2014, all over social media, there were announcements being made that a real-life purge would be taking taking place. There was a date and time and numbers for safe houses. Once those numbers for safe houses went up, people really started to freak out. Before the assumed start time, the county sheriff, David Morgan, stated that the department was aware of this threat and was investigating it. He also cautioned all of the residents and the media to exercise a mature and measured response in how they reacted to the threats. Despite the number of copycats that have claimed this night is going to happen for real, the authorities aren't too concerned about it. Coming in at number 2, Ireland. So back in 2016, the Irish police force threatened to go on strike during all of the Fridays in November unless they got a significant pay increase. And this caused people to worry that a real-life purge might take place. I mean, having no law enforcement for all of the Fridays, that's pretty scary. On the average day, it's not like you call the police, but having people know that there's no one protecting the citizens on one certain night, that's a scary thought. When this strike was being discussed, there were so many things that had people freaking out. One major thing was airports and banks shutting down for the day. There was even a theory that the Irish army would stand in for the police if needed, but that theory was shot down quickly. Media sources went to the streets to see what people said they would do if the police did in fact go on strike. Most of the people they interviewed said that they would just stay home. But then of course you have those people who are looking for a reaction. So someone said they would vandalize the town, while another said they would rob a store. But like I said, for the most part, many people didn't say they were going to cause trouble. And a lot of people interviewed said that they believe that the police do deserve a raise and they simply were not getting paid enough money. And in at number 1, Brazil. Now Brazil is a pretty different story than Ireland. Back in 2017 in Brazil, the police in the state of Espírito Santo took a 6-day strike over wages and poor work conditions. Basically, people took this strike as a sign that they could do whatever they wanted. Just after a few days of the strike, there were a reported 52 murders, thousands of cases of rape, theft, shops being robbed, vehicles being torched, and people fighting with machetes and guns on the streets. To survive the British purge, many people stayed inside their homes. They would board up their windows, turn off the lights, and they would sit in their house armed with whatever they could use as a weapon, all while listening to the screaming and chaos that was going on outside. Due to the complete lawlessness, schools, parks, and health services were closed. That means no injuries could be taken care of. Also at this time, there was a yellow fever outbreak, which a lot of the residents were battling with. But due to the health services being down, they were unable to get their vaccines. After almost a week, as a response to this inhumanity and lawlessness, the Brazilian military stormed the streets to retake control and restore order and discipline. And there you guys have it. That's a list of the top 5 scary real-life purge events.
So that is kind of scary, especially when it comes to like the Saturn worship and how people just kind of went crazy and they started sacrificing even the people in charge and, to Saturn and sacrificing themselves and all that. That's kind of creepy. Our society is crumbling and falling apart, much like Rome. So that's a little interesting, the parallels between the two. And, Rome did start to crumble, when people were able to marry their horse, or, men and women were, or men and men were marrying each other, and women were marrying each other. And it was just, it's even talked about in the Bible. Jesus talked about it, and Paul talked about it, I think. It's just, this stuff was happening back in the time of Jesus, and just crazy stuff. It's, people get a bloodlust, and there's, they just start to want to kill and do all these terrible things. And whenever, people don't have Jesus, so they don't care about their neighbor. In other words, they don't want to treat other people as they want to treat themselves, and they start to be selfish, or they have an atheist point of view in life, so that there's no real point and reason for living. There's no God according to that, so it doesn't matter. Life doesn't have any value. And it's just sad that people want to just go out and do all these terrible things to one another and take advantage of each other and cheat and rob and steal and kill and just destroy everything. The last I checked, the God I worship is a creator God. And, Satan is the one that seems to want to destroy everything. He wants to destroy everything that God ever made. God made people. God made the earth. God made everything. So you can always see where Satan is, because wherever the destruction is, that's where Satan is. So it's pretty easy to spot him. when the inner city is burning and people are, chanting Black Lives Matter and forgetting about, all the other lives that matter. Or they're not standing outside of Planned Parenthood where more black lives are destroyed and murdered than any other race practically in America. So, black lives, if it really did matter, you'd think that they would actually try, stop the abortion of their own people, but whatever. And speaking of that, I'll get into this before I get into that. Deagle.com is a website, and I guess they have I don't know, I can't find it on there, but I've heard from several sources that website has like the 2025 population quotes and stuff like that, and it said on there, I can't find it right now. It might still be on there. I don't quite understand how to work their website. I think it's like a government website, but anyway, it shows the spending and all that stuff of the government, but it also shows the population rate in 2025 somewhere on there. I can't find it, but I've heard it from many people that this is on there, or maybe they took it off there. Anyway, by 2025, it's supposed to be the population in America, according to them, is supposed to be down to 53 million. Well, last I checked, there's a lot more than 53 million. And 2025 is like right around the corner. So what happens from now until 2025 to get the population down that low? So that's kind of scary. And that's Deagle.com. So that's something to think about. And, I mean, you can just Google Deagle.com. It's like DEAGEL, I believe, .com. Let me look. Hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like it's DEAGEL.com. Yeah, just making sure. Yeah, so that's the website. Maybe you can figure out how to use it better than I could, but I didn't understand how to use their website. But I've heard from, I think Hagman and Hagman might have mentioned it a couple times on there. I've heard it from different people, different sources that I trust and rely on. So anyway, that's one crazy thing to think about. That's, something could be coming that, these world globalist elites like to tell you something that's going to happen before it happens, because they like to, I think they think it's kind of a joke that you knew it would happen and it does happen, that type of stuff. But, according to God, or I think God's in charge, so it depends, on what God thinks, not what they think. God is laughing at these New World Order people and their plans. But also, there's another, thing that's eating at our country, is the fact that, we have people who are willing to literally just laugh at terrible things. I mean, terrible things, like making jokes. Well, not really jokes, but their humor has gotten so dark and grim and twisted that they make jokes about abortion, even about murdering children. I mean, if we're laughing at children dying, then our country is dead. That's all there is to it. It's just dead. The soul of this country is dead. You can't ask God to bless America when literally we're just murdering babies. We're literally just murdering babies. It's just, that, and I believe that's like a satanic sacrifice. Just like in Rome, they were, sacrificing all these people and all these children and all these things to Saturn or God knows what, Baal or whatever. And, today we have a form of sacrifice, and it's for convenience, and that's abortion. And so our population is dropping off because, we have a depopulation agenda already in place, and we're still pushing abortion, even though the population in America is actually starting to dwindle and it's going to be less unless we bring in, foreigners that have a lot of kids. And that's another reason for immigration. So we're having a lot less kids in America, so there's that, and plus, they're still pushing abortion heavily. They will not give up the abortion. They want their rights to abort. So recently, this stupid, I guess she's a comedian. I don't think she's funny at all. Michelle Wolf has done some stupid thing and just basically said, God bless abortion, and she did this whole, it's basically like a 4th of July type of celebration of abortion. It's ridiculous. Here, you can listen to this.
In fact, let me tell you about that, because Michelle Wolf, last we checked, last we heard from her, she was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where she ridiculed Sarah Sanders and made some pretty disturbing remarks about abortion. Look at this.
I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies. Pence is also very anti-choice. He thinks abortion is murder, which, first of all, don't knock it till you try it. And when you do try it, really knock it. You got to get that baby out of there.
I was in the room. There were people of all political stripes groaning at that. Well, on the latest episode of her Netflix show, Wolf held what you might call a pretty bizarre celebration for, as you suggested a moment ago, abortion. Watch.
Abortion, I salute you! Women, if you need an abortion, get one! If you want an abortion, get one! If you're not pregnant but you think you eventually might be and want to order a future abortion, get one! God bless abortions and God bless America!
So that is about the most wickedest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, she's literally making it sound like getting an abortion is like this fun little thing. It's like getting an iPad or something. Oh, buy one. It's just really... And this is the type of crap that the far left is pushing, and I guess in some cases the far left is becoming the only left. The left-handed path of Satan, basically. It's just, it's getting so sickening. I honestly, I don't know how they actually think that anyone will ever want to vote for them if this is their great statements. I mean, vote for us because we're for Satan. I mean, what's that? Is that going to be how they're going to run for, president? Or, is it going to be worse? Okay, the Democrats are going to look so bad that the socialists are looking good. Is that what their plan is? Wow. Because Bernie Sanders, that's not a great idea either. But aside from the politics, just listening to the stuff that these people are saying, I mean, they literally are attacking anybody who's, works for the White House or Trump or whatever. These people are being kicked out of buildings and, just basically, you got this stupid Maxine Waters, who sounds like she's demon-possessed all the time. I mean, you listen to her talking like, oh my God, this woman, she needs an exorcist or something. Whatever. Anyway, so it's just, they literally are talking about, going after anybody who they assume voted for Trump. And that's usually if you're white. Apparently, if you're white, you voted for Trump. That's funny because I don't think President Obama would have actually became president if it wasn't for all the white voters. So I realize how racist white people are in America, but these black people like Obama or like the movie Black Panther, if it wasn't for white people, like Black Panther made millions and millions of dollars. I think it actually made $1 billion. Anyway, if it wasn't for, and I'm not saying just white people, but if it wasn't for, if only black people just went to see that movie, I guarantee you that movie would not have made billions of dollars. It would have taken a whole long time for that to happen. And just like Obama, if there was no white people, he wouldn't have been president. Okay? So these people are, going after, race baiting and trying to get people to, be against white people because white people have white privilege. Last I checked, I don't have any privilege any more than anybody else. So I don't know what the deal is with these people. I just know that they're, some of them are getting funded by the Soros Foundation as usual with these Craigslist ads. Hey, you want to make $1,500 in a weekend? We need to stop Trump, Stop Trump. That's all you ever hear. Stop Trump. Because, God forbid, we give the guy a chance. I mean, I don't agree with everything that comes out of the guy's mouth. And some of the things he says on Twitter is just kind of, just like, why you just shut up. You don't have to talk on, don't give away everything that you're, thinking. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he came up with, I've seen the meme somewhere that if he came up with a cure for cancer, they'd be out rioting saying cancer is good for you. How dare Trump? That type of stuff. It's you can't win. This country is so divided that it can't stand. And I honestly, I say we should, I'm pretty sure everybody, I shouldn't say pretty sure, I want everybody to pray for Trump and everybody that works for him, because my God, if they're just willing to just, kick him out of restaurants and whatever, I mean, can you imagine how it's going to be in 5 years if we're evolving to Satanism that quickly? I mean, people are getting like a bloodthirst. I mean, they got people taking kids' hats off just because it says "Make America Great Again." Oh, making America great again is a bad thing? Well, making any country, okay, if somebody had to make Mexico great again, which they really should have maybe they should have a hat that says that, because it's falling apart. Why do you think they keep coming here? But I don't get it. These people are so, they got a spirit of lawlessness. I'll put it that way. Just the lawlessness is in the land. Maybe I should have played the Bible verses about lawlessness at the beginning of this episode, because that's pretty much what we're seeing is lawlessness. But they are, into, eventually I think they're going to start killing, people are just going to start going crazy and turning on each other and killing each other. I think that's what will happen. I think that's what the Bible's kind of warning us about in Revelation. But it's getting just so bad. And, Trump meets with Putin, and oh my God, they suddenly act like it's the worst thing in the world. Never mind the fact that Obama met secret, and they had, they didn't have the press in there when Obama was talking to Putin for whatever time, and they didn't have the press in there when Bill Clinton was talking to Putin, never mind the fact that Hillary Clinton had uranium one deals and all this stuff going on. Oh, we can't talk about that because Democrats never commit crimes. They only talk about Trump in the terms that they committed the crimes. Well, whatever. Anyway, before I finish the show, I wanted to mention also, getting back to the Purge thing, I forgot to mention that there's also going to be a TV series on the USA Network of the Purge. So if you didn't get enough about, killing in America and chaos and civil war and nonsense, well, that's coming up on the USA Network. There's going to be a TV series about the Purge. So if we don't already have enough propaganda and nonsense on TV, they're going to add some more, because they want to really push that civil war and the complete destruction of our country. So that's about all I have for this week. So thank you very much for listening.
If you like this show, please share it with your friends. Promote it as much as possible before the internet censors us and takes down all of our content. Also check out the Fringianity Podcast Facebook group and page. New shows will be posted there, as well as show images. So check that out too. That's all for this show. So thank you very much for listening, and God bless.